Hello, Fredac. Fred ACC, all one word. Alrighty, it is Friday, March the 14th. Friday, March 14th, about 8 a.m., a couple of ticks before it, East Coast time. Why do I post these dates and times? Because I don't want people to think that I redboarded it after the fact. Not that I would do those things anyways. I'd like to thank you all for being here today. I hope you're all having a wonderful, prosperous day. Most importantly, it's your health. If your health is good, you got everything. If you got a whole lot of XRP at a cheap price, you're doing okay too. Alrighty, so today we've got notes, unfortunately, but that way I don't forget some of the things that are swirling around in my head. Once again, this is not financial advice, just the ideas that swirl around in Fredac's head. Okay, we're out by the pool. It is Friday, March the 14th, about 8 a.m., a little bit before. Let's delve right into it. Today is XRP Say Goodbye. Say goodbye, because the good ship Wealth is sailing away. The only real question is, it's sailing with you on board. I hope so. A couple of different things to think about here. Okay, let's see, what do we got on the notes? First, let's start out. Hope I already did this already, but thank you all for being here today. Try to keep this short and concise, not drag it on, waste your time, my time, everybody's time. Try not to be a red border, but on Tuesday, I posted Tuesday market something or other. Within the first minute of that, I did make a statement about how the markets are possibly going to bounce back up. I got involved with them. I did not get involved with XRP under $2. If I would have grabbed 2,000 of them, my thought would have been make a quick $1,000 on the next surge up, which is probably happening. It's already started to happen. Probably already take a $700 profit off of that, less than $4,000 investment. Very nice percentage, annualized for just a couple of days. But it is what it is, and I did not get involved with it. But I did make a posting, if you look at the Tuesday one, about how the stock market is probably short-term oversold. Am I right on these things? I don't know. Time will tell. But I've seen the movie, I know the ending, and I know the mentality of the herd mentality. In the big picture of the stock market. In the crypto market, I'm not so sure. I'm not sold on it yet. At any rate, I did get involved with the markets. I think by the end of today, Friday, the fear of missing out is going to draw a lot of money to jump back in. And I think we could end up 4, 5, 6, 700 points. Maybe I'll take the profits and move to the sidelines. Maybe I'll wait till Monday and be greedy, but probably not. Being greedy is never good. You try to take too much, you get burned at the fingertips. At any rate, for those of you who are watching and you have subscribed and you're willing to take a picture, take a glance at the Tuesday, March 11th posting or whatever about how the markets seem like short-term they're oversold. Now long-term, meaning a couple of weeks, you might see some more waves down. I think we might be heading into recession. In fact, I've already posted things about that. Let's get started here. Okay. First thought that I have on my plate is that I try to bring things out your way that you don't hear from everybody else. The government that we had in place before the recent election was anti-crypto, in my opinion. Differing opinions, whatever opinions, we'll post them out there. Love to hear the comments. Comments are great. I do need some new t-shirts, do need a haircut, need a lot of things. New set of eyes, a new body, a lot of things. Now, in my opinion, the government is pro-crypto. They see this as the future. The administration that is there, President Donald Trump, is of the thought that he wants to make the U.S. maintain control of that U.S. currency as a reserve currency of the world, make us the cryptocurrency of the world. A lot of different chitter-chatter out there. If they do something about tax-free on crypto coins, ooh, look out. The show is going to start the fireworks. That is why I got to get the board out here and start to share with those of you who subscribe. understanding the level 2, understanding the game. There's a lot to understanding the game. And there's a game within the game, which I am going to go into those things, not today, but in the near future. Dips. There's always waves up and down. Whether it's the stock market, Bitcoin, whatever. Go look at the chart for 5 years on Bitcoin or on IBM or Amazon or whatever. You're going to see different waves up and different waves down. My thinking is avoid the dips, have a game plan. I bought XRP to be a major game changer to the financial systems globally. I'm sitting tight on that. Okay, let's go to the notes here. I wrote down read between the lines. So the government, you got to read between the lines what the government is doing. Do you really think they're going to come out and let everybody know what their game plan is? No. Okay, what do we got here? Read between the lines. The scammers. We'll get into the scammers in a moment. Okay, on the dips. I could care less if there's dips, unless I use them to buy in and make some money. They might keep dipping, you just don't know. I don't know. Hard to say. My only thought is that if I double, triple my money, quadruple my money from here, that's a good thing. Or 10 times it, or 50 times it, or whatever it might be. Where's them notes? Hold on a moment. Okay. Do you think the government is going to wait? Do you think the government is going to wait for you and me? No. If the U.S. government is making a move on something, they're not going to let you and I know about it. Not beforehand. Do you think the government can afford to wait? A lot of questions today. Do you think the government can wait? Do you think the government can afford to wait? Do you think the government is going to wait for you? No, they're not. The real biggest question of all the questions is, can you afford to wait? Can you afford to wait for the government to show its hand and then say, wow, maybe I should get involved with this. It's $7 and something. It might be going to $70. Sure, you can get on board then. And I have professed in the fast past, blah, 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 blah. Spit them out, Fred. That, probably at about $2.93. It passes that, it's going higher. It's probably a safer investment than it is at this point right now. Still, I'd rather grab my 1,000 of these at $2,300. It was $2.32, poised for a run. I believe the decoupling has already happened. I don't think this is connected at Bitcoin at the wayside anymore. Sure, high tide, low tide is going to raise everything a little bit, down a little bit, but as you've seen the last 3 months, after I posted Generational Wealth, XRP has had double-digit moves, while everything else out there has not had any kind of moves, or very minimal. So back to the questions. Can you afford to wait? I don't think you can. Back to the notes here. Okay. You got a $1 bill, a $5 bill, a $10 bill, $20 bill, a $100 bill in U.S. currency. They're the same rectangular size, just different things printed on them, different numbers. Why do they have different values? Because we equate them to have value. Because the world equates them to have value. Somewhat similar to gold. Is gold worth $3,000 an ounce? It is, because other people are willing to grab it from you for $3,000, thinking of the greater fool theory that it's going to surge upwards and they'll make money on it. That's kind of where I think XRP and the Bitcoin world is at right now, and the crypto world, not the Bitcoin, but crypto world is at right now. It's kind of like scratch-off lottery tickets, and there's not everybody in the globe is playing the game. Which is why I don't believe in the breakouts, the supports, the resistance. Not yet. It's too early for that. And I have posted on my past postings about the saturation level. If everybody and their brother and their sister knows about XRP, then I'd say, well, everybody knows about it. But considering that very few people, when I had conversations about this stuff in my personal world, were like, never heard of it, don't know anything about it. There's so much that they don't know anything about. That tells me that there's so much more saturation or people that could come on board, if that makes any sense. Hopefully it does. Hopefully both sense, S-E-N-S-E and C-E-N-T-S. I've spoken in the past about the canaries in the coal mines. There are many of them out there, and I'm bouncing around quite a bit here. Saw something, is it accurate or not? I don't know. What you see, what you read, it might be true and it might not be true. All the blabble that you hear and see, blah, blah. The only thing I know that is true is that it's getting light out, the sun is coming up. That happens every day. It's probably going to happen today. That is something factual that I could hang my hat on. Everything else, kind of in the middle of the road. FHA mortgages are at 3.5%. Okay. If people have gotten mortgages at 3.5% down, not at 3.5%, I'm sorry, put down 3.5% to get an FHA mortgage. Certain people that qualify, fine. So you buy a $100,000 house, $3,500, you're in the game. You're a homeowner, quite possibly. What I'd seen was that last year, 52,531 FHA loans were delinquent. Only 9 of them ended up in foreclosure. Supposedly the government is bailing these people out with their mortgage payments. True or not? I don't know for sure, but anything close to true on that. 52,531, only 9 are in foreclosure. There's a storm brewing on the horizon. I posted something back on November the 28th or 7th or whatever the Black Friday was from a shopping mall. Destitute? That's an overstatement. People are tapped out. So many canaries in the coal mines. Things to worry about. Shifting gears a little bit. How things can move quickly. If you remember, there was this thing called the space race. Sputnik, the Russians, they were going to dominate space. The U.S. put a whole bunch of money into it, got all of their smart brains corralled down in NASA or different parts. Houston, we have a problem, whatever. Push towards going to the moon. Things start to evolve quickly. They evolve much quicker now than they did back then, that's for sure. Alrighty. I have written down here the scammers. Let's be careful of the scammers. The scammers are out there in droves. How do I know the scammers are out there? Well, I see the things that are posted that, gee, I'm following Rosemary Cojones and I turned $7 into $700 million. Blabble like that. The reality is they're going to turn your $7 into nothing. And the best thing about the scammers is that I'm starting to see people trying to become FredAC. I guess that's a compliment. I don't know. Alrighty, the scammers are out there, so be forewarned. Another thing to think about with XRP, when I gave it out on Generational Wealth back in October, it was around 52, 53 cents. Probably had a good 3-4 weeks to get involved with it. You digested that and it made sense. I hope some of you got on board. Had a tremendous surge, a good 6 times up in value. That tells me a lot. We'll go into that in a moment. If it goes up 6 times in value now, you're looking at over $12. And that could happen in almost the blink of an eye. It could happen quickly. The good ship Wealth could start selling away the choo-choo train, the boat. The only question is, are you on board with it? Stay the course, have a game plan. That's what FredAC says. Alrighty, back to the notes over here. What do we got over here? Okay, so most people could not own now. That's what I wrote down here. When it comes to XRP at $2.32, are you going to buy 20,000 of them? Probably not. Could you have bought 20,000 of them when it was 2 cents? Absolutely. So as it starts to, the good ship Wealth starts to chug away from the docks and sail, those who are on board, all aboard, they're on for the ride towards generational wealth. Those who are not, the higher the price goes, the more limited amount the average Shlomo like you and me, 9-to-5 jobs, can jump in and purchase. Common sense. Okay, one thing's for sure is that they're not gonna come out and ring a bell. Bing, 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 bing. The government is not gonna ring any bells. In fact, they're probably gonna play it the other way. But there is a tendency, if you ever notice, when a stock has a huge surge in price, preceding it by the couple of days right before it, there'll tend to be a surge in volume. Somehow, some way, human beings somehow get wind of it, that there's something big happening to the upside or to the downside. Gee, how does that happen? Well, but it happens. Well, let's take a stroll back memory lane 3 months ago. There's XRP, 52, 58, 73 cents. Zoom just starts running. Next thing you know, it's over $3. Somebody knows something about something. That is for sure. Had a certain person within my circle that knew that I owned it, saw it go up to 70-something cents, was like, you should have got out of all of it. I said, I'm not in it to double my money, triple my money. I'm in this long term. I've had a couple opportunities to double my money already. Not interested in doubling my money. I bought into this for generational wealth. Sure enough, not sure enough, but it did surge. And I'm sure he's probably wishing that he was on board. A lot of people got burned in the crypto world early on. That happens. There's tons of scammers out there. You got to be really, really cautious. That's what I'm advising all of my subscribers. Be cautious of what you do. Remember Mom's axiom, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. All right, we covered a lot of different bases here. Let's see what else we've got. Let's leave you with a nice, interesting thought. Have you ever noticed that those of people who drive slower than you, they're idiots? And those who drive faster than you, they're maniacs. I'd like to thank you all for being here today. I hope you subscribe. Hit, smash, do the likes button, the don't likes button. Any comments? Really enjoy the comments. You guys are great out there. Someday when we sail that boat to generational wealth, the good ship generational wealth, that's what we should call it. I'm on the boat. Are you on the boat? I hope you are. Alrighty. May all your days be profitable and winning ones. And we'll try to keep you posted with some different things that you don't hear from all the other talking heads. I want to thank you all for being here today. May all your days be winning ones.